I'm Emily, and today I'll be talking about how we can make climate stories more effective by focusing on agency framings. These are particularly important in commercial media depictions in optimizing how rapidly we are culturally able to shift to climate solutions. As the Global Warming 6 America study demonstrates, audiences are becoming more alarmed about climate impacts. But there, people are getting stuck because they're unsure about how to participate in climate solutions. The concept of agency was developed by social psychologist Albert Bandura as a part of his social cognitive theory. Agency is the skill of being able to accomplish your goals. Climate stories can support people in being more effective at actions that they already want to take and establishing new cultural norms for climate actions. There are three types of agency: individual, proxy, and collective. Individual agency is what you can do for yourself, such as the individual choice of choosing what you eat. Collective agency is what you can accomplish as a group. One example of this is the Climate Change March, but collective agency can also look like a group of people collaborating on a shared task for many different roles, like reducing urban heat islands in a city, both by planting trees and by reducing low albedo surfaces. Proxy agency is what you can get someone to do for you, such as lobbying a legislator to create laws on your behalf, like this example of Congressman Panetta in a recent House committee hearing providing oversight. I often write letters to my legislators or meet with them to provide technical information on how climate change impacts health. Agency is achieved by setting short-term and long-term goals and periodically reevaluating to reach your long-term goals. Behavioral modeling of clear steps through stories, connecting audiences to linked resources for how they can participate, will increase our collective agency at implementing climate solutions. In every community, there are individuals or groups whose uncommon behaviors enable them to find better solutions to problems than their peers while having access to the same resources. The strategy here is to first identify the positive outlier behaviors and then amplify them. Linked resources are used to connect the narrative to activities that people can participate in their own communities. Suppose you are modeling characters planting trees in your story. In that case, providing a website that directs people to where they can plant trees in their own neighborhood is a type of linked resource. Some general trends arise in how we craft climate stories to maximize our ability to support climate action. I'm going to describe a brief overview of these categories: dystopian, health impacts, individual agency, and collective agency with linked resources. It's hot here in California, so I'll give an example related to heat waves amplified by climate change. Let's say you have a dystopian story about people dying from extreme heat in the future. It doesn't help us to prevent heat waves or respond to them effectively. The outcome that I want isn't people dying, so let's say that's not a great climate story. Health impact stories set in the present day can help people connect to the ways that climate change is already harming people's health. However, these should be some percent of all the overall content, but they alone don't help people to know either how to prevent future harm or how to reduce the present day health impacts. Now, let's take an intro with people suffering in the heat, demonstrate the health impacts, and build the story out so that a single protagonist seeks shelter in a cooling center, learns how to install a heat pump, and then assists vulnerable neighbors to install heat pumps. Then you have a good individual agency story. Now let's build on that some more, showing different characters working together in a variety of settings and roles to reduce urban heat islands by increasing green space and switching the city to renewable energy sources, in addition to the heat pump bit. That's a great visualization of collective actions being taken to mitigate and adapt to heat impacts. One last addition here. Take your collective action story with its specific and doable behaviors that people are demonstrating in your present day city and add linked resources through social media connected to characters in your story where audiences can participate in the actions that are modeled. Collective agency with linked resources is the gold star example for how to best support climate action through narrative. We've now gone from bad to best, and repetition is helpful in social learning. So the more stories that we have reinforcing similar behaviors over more contemporary settings, the larger the impacts will have.